It's not a podcast.
It's a GarCast.
And this is the world according to Gar.
Hello and welcome to the world according to Gar. You are listening to GarCast, episode number 294. I am Gar. With me, as always, is the GarFather.
Thank you for joining us.
How are you?
I am great. Love your background.
Thank you. I am on the severed floor right now.
I could see you just sliding right into the severed floor and loving it.
Would I be like a milkshake and be unsevered, or my severed? What do you think my severed body would be like?
I was talking about you severed, sorry.
My innie.
You would be, I think you'd be happy, like you wouldn't be like, what's his face? What's the black guy's name?
Dylan?
Dylan. Because Dylan loves like the prizes and all the stuff. You hate that shit. So that wouldn't be
Maybe
you.
my innie would love it.
No. The Gar. You can't separate the Gar out of the Gar. Like you know what I mean? You'd still be a Gar. I feel like you might be like the guy that what was his name? The guy that was originally
Petey?
there before she Petey. You may have been a Petey. We didn't get to know Petey enough.
Maybe.
But I feel like Petey liked it, but was curious. You might be Petey.
Could be Petey.
I think Bosco would be like Dylan.
Dylan? Yeah.
He'd be competing. He'd be trying to be the best.
Want to know all about his Audi.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I think the interesting thing about Dylan, though, I think that, well, this is a spoiler, so you might want to,
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead.
I think that his wife is going to like any Dylan better than Audi Dylan. Audi
You
Dylan
going to
is the
season 2
loser.
spoiler. I should have counted to 10. Okay. No, that's possible. I think you're right. I saw that in her eyes.
And I think that's going to be interesting.
Well-
She's like, holy shit, this guy who hasn't had all the shit,
Audi
Right.
Dylan
all
is
the baggage.
a loser.
He's a loser, right? He can't keep a job.
Is that cheating on your husband if you cheat on him with his innie?
So this is a great question. No.
That's a great question.
I think
it is.
So the wife well, it also, the same question applies to, what if your innie sleeps with the hot chick that's also an innie.
Right, the
But you
redhead,
both
maybe, in the
this is
office
on the
that's
outside.
cute.
It's
Yeah.
not cheating because you
Well,
didn't.
You
You
didn't know.
You did it without knowing.
But is it cheating for the wife?
For her, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep. 100%.
Good questions.
Interesting.
And maybe that would be a reason why people would want to get severed because they don't like.
Their wife?
There was a whole
Their wife,
series
yeah.
about that with Paul Rudd, which was actually pretty good. Paul Rudd did a series, I forget the name of it, where they essentially cloned themselves. It was pretty good. And his clone was better than him and was banging his wife. And she was like, oh my God, my marriage is so much better. But it wasn't her anymore because it was the clone. Pretty good. Paul Rudd. I'm not recommending it.
That's bizarre.
I'm not recommending it.
No, maybe this is a new technique. You recommend things without knowing the name of it.
Yeah.
And just pique people's curiosity, and they have to go figure it out themselves. I think that's what you do.
I mean, it was
Our
Paul Rudd. I'm probably thinking it was regular TV, right? Not a streaming service?
It was a streaming.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Paul Rudd was on CBS? I don't recall that.
I don't know.
What the hell are you talking about?
Just trying
Love
to figure
that.
this out.
By the way, love that. But can we enough with the Ohio State stuff? Are you recruiting people? What are you doing? Come on.
Not recruiting. Oh,
Living with yourself.
just chilling, bro.
Living with yourself. Got it.
Yep.
Maria got into Ohio State, and Anthony is putting so much pressure on her to go there. It's very funny.
Tell her to do whatever she wants to do.
That's what we told her. We're like, don't listen to him. He's an
Right.
idiot.
Speaking of colleges, though, did you see that post I had, Bosco? Like the best, what was it? Best college towns to live in or something?
I mean, the one of surprise, Hofstra University and West Hempstead was not on the list.
You couldn't go 4 for 4. I apologize.
But
I feel like
that was exciting.
You've made much better choices for your children than you have for yourself, and that's all we can try to do in our lives, right?
Right. We want them to do better.
So Penn State, Virginia Tech, and Virginia all made that list. Good job. Proud of you. So Gary, you got one. Gary.
But you know, it's funny that you include me on the Penn State list because my son went there. And I wonder,
why is that funny?
Well, because I had an interaction over the weekend.
Okay.
So Penn State has the famous "We Are" and the answer Penn State cheer.
That's what they do. Mm-hmm.
It's a social contract that is created when you are either a fan, and I consider myself a big part of Penn State.
I think Rebecca says it to herself every morning in the mirror when she's brushing her teeth.
Or when you're in the wild, too. It carries over to the wild. I've seen this happen with Virginia Tech and Ohio State when I'm wearing their gear.
The right banana.
So I come across a young couple, recent Penn State graduates. The male was a 7-foot tall, tree trunk legged hockey player.
So I'm assuming this was a male and female couple. You never
Correct.
Know. Got it.
Female was a tennis player. I do not know if she played for like their team or she was just a tennis player.
But both athletic builds, could be some nice breeding coming out of this pair.
So, they're going to have great kids.
Nice.
Oh my God. Their kids are going to be amazing.
Excellent.
So they asked me if I was in Penn State. I said, no, my son, whatever. And then like when I was leaving, I smiled at them and I said, "We are."
Uh-oh.
They didn't answer. They gave awkward nod.
Because you didn't go there?
Smile.
You think it's because you didn't go there?
I felt snubbed. I felt like it was a snub.
Yeah, that might be.
Maybe they're not proud of it.
Or maybe it was me.
No.
Or maybe it was me. Maybe I'm just, I felt very snubbed.
So
like
were you having positive conversations about Penn State with them?
So we talked briefly. So it was at my open play pickleball experience, which is an experience in and of itself.
I can't wait till one of Guar's family members shows up to play you. That'll be the next thing. His sister's going to start appearing in all our lives. This is my new prediction.
So, yeah, maybe. You never know.
Go ahead.
So, he was my opponent. We naturally became opponents. And
he was 7 feet tall?
He was a hockey player.
What did this look
maybe
like?
Not 7 feet.
But you were 7 feet on skates.
He looked like a Nordic. Yeah. He looked like a Nordic hockey player. He moved like an athlete. The D1 hockey player. They're really good.
This was 1-on-1 or doubles?
Doubles. It was
Who was
doubles.
your partner?
She was some geriatric patient. I think she had to leave at some point because the nursing home bus was, there to pick up.
So it's you and this Betsy versus 2 recently graduated D1 athletes. What the hell?
Sometimes
no. Together.
Well, it was open. So it's this open play, right? You just sign up, and I'm not allowed. You've got to get rated to get to the upper levels. So you got to start with open, and then you can move up the line. So this was my first one, completely out of my comfort zone.
Oh, so they were sandbagging. They're sandbagging. They shouldn't be.
Well, they were new too. That was their,
Yeah.
But right, exactly.
That's bullshit. Someone's gonna get hurt.
So
you didn't really dive into. This is what I'm thinking. Like, either you need to go there to say that, or you didn't really talk about Penn State at all.
We talked. We told me what they did. I told them how my son was there. We talked about what he was doing. Like it was like a 2-minute interaction specifically about our mutual relationship.
Taken at least, even if it's not the right thing to do that you did that, they should have at least respected your age and that you don't know and that you're a proud father and just giving it back to you.
Was it
They should have given it back.
Was it pre-game or post-game?
Post. It was like as we were leaving.
Because it could have been an intimidation pre-game mode.
Or they're just Penn State douchebags, Yeah,
they just may not care about that. They might be like, this is stupid and I'm not going to participate.
He was just sore because I was a better pickleball player. And he's not used to little people beating him normally. So it might have been very frustrating for him.
It might have been just in a pissy, foul mood.
Yeah, Rebecca.
Right, I mean-
we'll appreciate some feedback from you on this, Rebecca, if you have any insight into this.
I mean, I don't think we need it. This was a social breach of contract. Clearly.
Somewhere in the bylaws and the contract somewhere. All right. I love that you're out there in the wild interacting with young Penn State grads.
As well as geriatric
As well as
old ladies.
Was she older than you, your partner?
Oh my God. She was older than my mother, I think.
Oh my God. They were saying injuries like, BMO's going to benefit from this and other doctors, orthopedic surgeons.
Oh my
Somebody was
God.
on the radio
if
talking.
I was a doctor, I would just go with a stack of cards and sit outside and be like, how you guys doing?
People are popping Achilles. They're doing that breaking bones.
You know what you could do? You know the way they used to, like at school, they would put the notice on the board with the telephone number vertically, so you'd rip it off.
Yeah.
You're going to have that with doctors.
Like babysitting, car rides home from school. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, there's a new place we just noticed, Nancy and I, when we were going to swim practice the other day on corner of Merrick Avenue and Stewart Avenue at Eisenhower Park at the entrance right next to the gas station. There used to be, remember how every town used to have, at least in Nassau County, there were a lot of them, like Sport Time Fitness or like Sport Time Tennis.
Yeah.
There used to be one there years ago. Then it became like a volleyball place, like club volleyball. It's been closed for a while and they've been gutting it, doing a shitload of work. It's big. It's like a huge warehouse. Boom. Sign goes up. What is it? Pickleball.
Nice.
Nothing but pickleball courts. So maybe I'll join because I'm at swim practice all the time.
I mean, I tell you, it's going to be hard on the Achilles. There's a lot of start-stop, but I think you could do it.
Of course.
I know it. I know I can do it. I can freaking do it, man. We
don't know how the Achilles is going to hold.
That's true. No, I worry about that. So that was.
How's it doing, by the way? You're doing the power walking.
I'm sticking to the walking. I have banned myself from running, and
End of an era.
I feel good. Well, you never know. I feel good. I'm in a routine. I have to say, Rebecca's little team that she got us to sign up for is helping. I'm in my routine again, like I used to be with running. I'm setting a plan for each day. And I'm doing it. So like mentally, it's really good. I'm starting to move faster. I was actually hurt my left foot because I think I was walking wrong. Like at the top of my foot, it was like freaking broke it. It's good. I'm digging it. I like it.
It just sucks getting old and the shit starts to break down all the time now.
Speaking of which, this is the year of 1975. Where we're all dropping. We're turning 50. We're joining your guys' ranks.
Come on in.
Welcome.
I'm 60 already, for God's sakes.
We had Sunil. Sunil turned 50 last week. So he's there. He took himself on a vacation to St. Lucia to figure things out. Hope, with what it's like to be 50. I hope he's enjoying himself down there on the beach. I was texting with him earlier. He was hanging out with met some people from Nebraska, Scotland, and France yesterday on a little boat cruise. Quite a crew. Kid from Brooklyn, some Nebraskans, Scottish and French. Sure, they were up to no good. So he's 50. And then today, one of my favorite humans. This show's most favorite masshole, Andy Shaw, turns 50 years old. How about that?
Happy birthday, Andy.
How about that? So yeah, there he is. Oh, the crowd's going wild.
Yeah, 50's in there. He turned 60 this year. Tom Uraturi.
Old son of a bitch. When is that? What month?
I don't know. I think it's in March. I'm not 100%.
Well, let's not miss it.
He doesn't want to talk about it.
Let's make sure. Yeah, I can't. 50's a big one. Like I've been, I know chatting with Sunil, definitely he was like, whoa. I remember when you turned 50, you seemed fine.
Yeah, not a big deal to me. I think
you weren't internalizing it all, but I remember I was with you.
I thought 30 was the weird one because you really weren't young anymore, and you were kind of moving your way up. And most of that shit, I don't really let things bother me.
Yeah,
so.
I don't know.
It's a dangerous age because you're feeling good, and you guys are good, but a lot of people let their health go.
Yeah.
And you feel good, but your body can't do what it used. And I'd be honest, I notice it with the pickleball because, I know when I make a mental mistake, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over. Can't fix. Whereas the young guys, I mean, they just do these heroics to get across the court. And let alone my friend from Penn State. I mean, he didn't even need to use feet.
Right.
He could reach the whole court with
Flying
just his
around the room.
arms.
Yeah, 50. The problem with 50 is you're 20 from 70, and 70 is when things start really breaking
Funny,
down.
I was doing that. Yeah.
That's the problem with 50. Like you can survive all these little pain in the ass injuries and things hurt more now. Like yeah, whatever. But
so you guys, all right, let's talk about this question
70's
as we're all approaching 50. A urologist would appreciate this survey.
How do you know? Are you a urologist?
Make it through the night without going to the bathroom.
Yeah, I do. 100%.
Yeah, most nights, unless I drink a lot in the evening, which sometimes I'll drink a lot of water. But typically, I'm okay.
Yep. Okay. I am okay. I need to stop drinking at 7 p.m.
I don't have that issue yet.
But there are nights where I may drink too much.
My dog can't make it through the night anymore.
Oh,
buddy.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. My wife says ignore him. Eventually, the urge goes away. So, like in the cold, he can't really empty his bladder. He clenches.
That's a pain in the ass for the whole family. Yeek.
No, not really the whole family. Just me.
Yeah, well.
It's just me because Colleen sleeps through it. She doesn't even know it happened. I'll say, Colleen, I had to let the dog out 3 times last night. Sometimes I'll even go walk him just to make sure because he goes outside and he's like, woo, and he clenches.
Yeah.
And then he comes back in. Yeah, speaking of, Bo is appreciating
I don't have that issue yet, but I'm sure it's coming. Yeah, definitely. Like a lot with my body physically has, I would say for the last 2.5, 3 years, you guys have lived it. It's it's manifested in the being unable to run as much, but definitely the body changes. It gets old.
But if you work hard, you can keep up with it. So I got a little situation. I've been working, I've shared my back injury.
Yes, you have. Back injury confessions.
Incredible help, but I'm doing really well. I don't think I need physical therapy anymore. How do I tell them that I don't want to go anymore?
Just don't go.
You just stop. Don't make an appointment.
I mean, we're usually pretty, like, he's going to notice right away because I'm very diligent about on Wednesday. I plan out the next week and we make an appointment.
Believe it or not, he's going to move on. He's got a lot of patience.
Yeah.
He's not
How do I say it? Do I say it's okay? I'm good.
Just stop.
It's not you, it's me.
Dude.
So the both times I've done it, he knew I just stopped. There was no goodbye. There was no farewell.
No goodbye.
When I needed it again, a couple years later, I made an appointment and he's like, "Hey, how you been?"
Nice.
That's all that's happened.
I got him a gift.
For what?
A Valentine's Day gift.
What?
That's so gay.
I don't like when Gary says that, but it is gay.
Well, he made a comment. That his wife was going into the city and he was concerned with all of the stuff on the subways and stuff.
Did you offer to take his wife on the train? Is that your gift?
No. I got her a pepper spray.
Oh, maybe 3D printed a gun.
No, I got her pepper spray. And while I was at it, I had my guy from Pennsylvania buy a whole bunch of mace. And I'm giving that all to the ladies in my office for Valentine's Day.
That's actually not so gay. I think doing it on Valentine's Day is a little
not gay.
Well, Gary, all the girls in college, like Ryan's friends and stuff, she doesn't have one. Maybe Bosco can get her one for Valentine's Day.
Would she like? Oh, I'll
pepper
certainly
spray,
pick one up.
and then it has a button like a high-pitched, rape alarm thing.
Maria actually asked for the rape alarm button thing that on her keychain for Christmas. We got her for her.
Yeah, it's loud as hell. Bosco, let's go. Don't mail it to me. We'll get arrested.
No. These are going to be deliveries at the Fernwood.
Okay. When the Fernwood is finally open, we're in tough times right now.
Well, I'm trying to find a time. It's just
have
odd.
to take over temporarily. I might have to take over running the show over there.
Ownership has been a little bit detained with other work.
Mike's a little busy. That guy is.
Making America great again.
Thank you for your service.
I'm just waiting for him to get the first assignment to leave the country, and then I'm going to be like, try to play that. I like a slow play. Usually Mike gets short notice because, like, if he's like, got to bring somebody back to London, I'll be like, checking tickets. La la la.
We're almost 1 month in with the new leadership, huh?
Of what?
President?
Oh, the country.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
what do you think? How do you think
thing
things
with
are going?
Any leadership. Because I think it's arguable that we had no leadership
with
prior.
with the president, shall we say? Yes. I think it's going well. Overall, right? You got to look at it overall.
Mostly delivering on stuff that he promised he would.
Could you nitpick? Does he choose the wrong words sometimes? Absolutely. We know that. He does that all the time. That's what he's known for. People can point it out. It's fine. But so far so good for me. I'm good.
We wanted government cuts. He's doing that. The people are going a little bit crazy.
He's
tariffs,
cleaning up.
He said he was going to do. Maybe you agree with him or not, but he said going in.
I knew he was going to do them. I have no idea. Like I just said, I'll see what happens.
Yep.
Not going to try to pretend. A lot of people. This is not aimed at you, Guar, at all, because you are smart. But there's a lot of unsmart people there who just lash out and throw out opinions who don't know what they're talking about. That drives me insane. I will always say I don't know what I'm talking about, so I don't know.
I agree with that statement. I also don't know what I'm talking about. I don't think I even need to say it. Everybody knew that, but I'm agreeing with that. But I will say that he ran on a platform. He was elected by the popular vote and is now doing what he said he was going to do.
Yeah, he's going to remove illegal immigrants, right? He's doing that.
How to do it? That was something I particularly agreed.
That got out of his votes. He's got to do that, and he's cleaning up a mess that he did not create.
Yep.
So, well, regardless who created it, we're just going to say it exists, and he's fixing it the way he said he was going to fix it. So,
no new surprises here, right?
Not a surprise.
What did
People are like all up in arms every time he does. Well, he said he was going to do it, and he's doing it.
What did you think about his initiative where federal employees could no longer put their pronouns in signature?
Well,
so I like it because I don't think that you really need to be like it's not part of it.
Well,
I need you to do a job. You have a name, and that's your name.
I will tell you, there were I personally, I don't think you should be told to do it or told not to do it. And I think probably the government was telling people they had to put it in there, or it became such a thing that you basically felt guilty that you had to. So I can understand why he would say not at all. I don't agree with that. But, and as annoying as I think it is, I think I liked it because I knew what kind of person I was dealing with if the signature was in there.
Well, that's the idea, for sure.
Are you saying, Gary, because I think we might disagree on this, that a person who works for a company or a government, in this case, using a company or government email owned by that company or government for proprietary use should be allowed to put whatever the hell they want in their email signature?
That's not whatever you want. It's a pronoun. There are many cases where I didn't even know. There have been cases where I remember getting an email going, I don't know if that's a guy or a girl, but at least if the he, him, she, her were there.
Don't you think? I mean, I think if I owned a business and I know business that here is our email format. This is how it has to be built, and if it's not, IT is going to call it out and it should be corrected.
But it's like using a surname, like Mr. or Mrs. to me.
What?
It's like using Mr. or Mrs. to me. He, him, her is the same as using Mr. or Mrs. in the front of your name.
I wouldn't have a place in the format for either.
Okay.
I
do disagree with that.
Last name, title, email. I don't even like putting email address. I always think that's dumb because you're emailing. Phone number. And company logo, you know what I mean? Should be standard. A standardization of email. There's nothing wrong with that as far as I'm concerned. And if that's what he wants his standardization of email to be, that fine. If another company or in the future, if the government wants to change it to say have a box for your pronoun optional, that's fine with me too. I don't really give a shit. But if that's what he chooses to do, it's his prerogative, right? That's what I think.
All good points. No,
very good point. I don't necessarily agree, but I like it.
To argue the opposite, the federal government is not a private company as such. It's owned by the entire population of the United States, and it shouldn't be required to run at the pleasure of the president.
Right, but if he issued an order that he's allowed to issue, again, I am no expert on these executive orders or however he did it. But I think a lot of people are shocked right now at how much power the executive branch has. Because again, I don't know. I'm not a government lawyer who knows how our everything's written. But if I had to guess, if challenged in court, the action he took would stand up. Just a guess. So, I see some people like, whoa, yes, the executive branch has a lot of power, but, you get somebody in there who's going to, do all this stuff. Well, then we got to rewrite the laws, I guess. I don't know.
There are checks and balances.
And people go into that and they want to have this big rule by committee. You want to have 400 million people all have a say in everything. And you know what? We don't have a democracy. We have a democratic republic.
Correct.
And people need to understand that you elect people to make decisions on your behalf. And they need to be fluid and they need to have the authority in order to be effective. Right. And you might not like them. I get it. You were on the losing side. I was on the losing side the last time, but I didn't go, it just was, it is what it is.
Right. As long as everything's being done on the up and up, you could disagree with the action, but as long as it's legal, everything's got to be legal. That's all I care about.
An executive action, right? I can go back to Biden. He was mandating that people had to get vaccinated to work in America. Do you remember that? It was challenged in law, and it was shot down because he did not have the authority to do that. So if anything that Trump does here,
that's what I'm saying. Right.
Can be shot down if it really is against the Constitution.
Bring up a case, and I would ask any government official who's been elected to please be very careful and operate inside all laws. Please. That's all I could ask, Yeah. Whether I disagree or agree with you.
Right. Yeah. What Biden did was unconstitutional. Everybody knew it.
And he didn't know. He didn't know. Poor guy.
Biden?
Yeah, he
didn't do it. He had somebody under him. The shadow government that he had working under him is what did that, not him. He was just a front man.
They were working above him, actually.
That's why they're funny. They talk about Trump installing a shadow government, but meanwhile, that's what we just did 4 years of. I mean, Biden was not alive. He was a robot.
How's he doing? I haven't seen him in a while.
I think he just signed with TV contract. I don't know what. I saw something about him signing.
What?
Something about being on TV, or he's
getting. They reboot The Apprentice and he's the host.
I think it's Weekend at Bernie's Part 3. I don't know what the hell's going on. It's really weird.
I'm excited. Hold on. I love when you bring something I have not heard.
I didn't read the article. I saw the headlines, and I'm like, that is really weird. Who would hire him to work?
Joe. Oh, he signed with a talent agency. So they're like, what is he up to? He signed with CAA, who represents actors and actresses and stuff. What is he doing? He's just duping him so they get paid if he has to tell his life story or some shit.
He just needs to go to the beach, eat ice cream, and relax.
Oh, he's probably so happy right now. Good for him.
He was happy then. For Joe. It's a very stressful job being a president. Not for Biden. He had not one stress in his life.
Yeah. Good first month.
So anyway, so that's that going on.
I didn't know we were going to do that update, but that's great. I'm glad we did.
That's good. Hey, I saw something really bizarre, which I always see and I never remembered to talk about on the GarCast. I don't think I have. Christina and I are walking the dog, doing my walk for Rebecca's friend's little thing there. And
little thingamajig.
Some ladies walking by, and all of a sudden these dogs start barking. She's pushing a carriage. Uh-huh. She has 2 dogs in a carriage that she is walking. And I did say to Christina, I'm like, that's so dumb. But I guess there are maybe I'm being short-minded, short-sighted, and that maybe they can't walk, and she just wanted to get him outside. But I don't think that was the case with this woman. What do you guys think about that?
We have one of those people in Floral Park. She's pretty famous. She's been doing it for years. Hers is like a stroller. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, this lady had a full-on. Oh, it was like the chair strollers. This was a carriage, and the dogs were sitting with their paws up in the front of the carriage.
I mean, there's really no harm. I mean,
it's no harm, but it's weird.
She's getting exercise. They're getting fresh air.
Right. So, let's not judge. It's clearly somebody I would never date.
We're going to judge. That's our job here on the GarCast.
I would never date this person. This
person
is undateable.
She's a pickleball player. Mean pickleball player.
She could potentially be a pickleball player. Let me know. I'll look for a carriage in the lobby with a dog in it.
That'd be great.
Walking a dog in the wintertime in the snow and the rain, if you live in an apartment, and you need to transport the dog from one place to another and you don't have a car. I'm just thinking in the city, and I'm trying to argue the opposite of why would somebody do something as asinine as use a baby stroller for your dog.
Does it pee in the stroller?
Exactly. Is it going to pee in the stroller?
Shit in the stroller.
Is it easier to use the stroller than the little booties that people wear when they walk their dogs in the city? They have these little rubber band booties that they put on the dog's feet. So,
I think that the salt actually can hurt that paws. So
Salt is
I can
not
almost
good for the paws.
understand that in the winter.
yeah.
But we just make him go deal with it and then lick it.
Yeah. I try to walk Tato around the pieces of sidewalk that have salt on it over the road.
But I could almost understand the booties, but the carriage, I draw the line there. That's just
Nice booty.
As a person, she would be off my list.
Oh, you would
Of
not date
friends,
her, would you?
No. God, no.
Wait, what age, what decade would you say she's in her life, Gary?
That woman was probably close, like my generation. Probably
50s?
50s,
She's in her
yeah.
50s, we'll say. All right.
2 dogs.
Who do you think she voted for
Biden
in the presidential election?
or the Green Party?
Kamala? But Biden didn't run.
Oh,
there.
yeah, Kamala. Sorry.
How
I
quickly
believe that she voted for
past
Kamala.
the tomfoolery that was last year.
All right, so I believe she voted for Kamala. I believe. What are her hobbies? What's her favorite TV show?
Oh, it's got to be like The Housewives or something.
The View?
Ladies like that shit. Right? The View.
Yeah.
Oof. Nobody
Yeah,
watches.
She just
The View.
finished watching The View, and then she put her
Nobody
dogs in a
watches.
carriage and went
Nobody
for a
watches
walk.
that show. Nobody watches.
Excellent.
it.
No, that person.
Yeesh.
Do you think that she uses pronouns? I think she definitely puts them on the bottom of her signature. She's totally a pronoun person.
She's in her 50s. I would say no. She probably doesn't even use email. And if she does, you probably
She
hardly get
shares
a
it.
signature. She probably uses
No,
her
she
husband's
probably-
email.
I was gonna say she shares her email with her husband.
Yeah, no doubt. She's a sharer.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Oh, the sharing of the email. Did you guys ever share an email?
No.
Now, we've talked about that, though.
Yeah.
We who was it?
We misidentified
Zoda.
Mike
It was Zoda.
We
It was
misidentified him. He didn't, but we did misidentify him as a sharer.
Yeah, that was an early episode.
Ooh.
That was a big topic.
He told me, he's like,
Somebody
I do
recently-
not share my email with my wife.
And I had a couple of soccer parents that did. That drove me nuts.
I think the problem was when I built their name in my email address book, like I wrote Emma, Michelle, and Mike.
Yeah, you set them up.
Yeah.
Somebody.
I shared an email for some time. I
You
did.
What?
I did.
That's a
Yeah,
freaking-
no. We got our digital divorce several years ago.
Only
But-
several?
Only several. That's
Dude,
correct.
Like
I would
within the
not-
last 5 years?
Much like
Probably
you.
about 5 years.
Oh
Probably
my
around
God.
COVID.
During
yeah,
COVID?
yeah.
I would
Yeah.
not date
Whoa.
you. You're off my list.
You're
Oh.
undateable.
God, you're dangerous. That's what you are. You are freaking dangerous.
Okay, so I guess what you guys are missing is it wasn't me. It was my email address that I invented when like email wasn't even a thing. I was one of the first people. It was an AOL email
All right,
address.
what's your point?
She took it. She took
So
it,
you should have said here that you could have it, and then made another one.
which is what happened 5 years ago.
5 years is nothing. Jeez.
No, my wife is a horrific person. She
I'm
was
trying to think
horrific.
if I ever emailed you something.
She
My
is
God.
digitally horrific. So
She
I
like-
ended up now not using that email address anymore. It's kind of pretty much going defunct. And I have my own, and I made her own.
Okay, so make
It was
sure
a digital divorce.
Do
She
you
like those pictures.
do you get aggravated when you get asked simple tasks like, I'm looking for this podcast. Could you help me find it? Like that stuff. I don't know why it annoys me when I get asked to do that.
I never get asked to do that.
Like,
I pretend
I'm
like
like,
I
you just-
never heard.
she's like, how did you do that? I'm like, I went to the podcast app. I hit the search button on the top and I typed in a word
Okay.
of the title that you wanted. That's how I found it.
So Colleen has this thing when she asks me to do things, she will do it from another room in the house and she won't even direct her voice in my direction. So like she'll be sitting at the couch watching the television, which is obviously in front of her, and she'll speak to me as if I was the television location, even though I'm like 2 rooms away.
Yeah, that's annoying. I know people that do. That's annoying. Yeah.
And so usually it goes like this.
My
"Dan?"
kids.
And
will
I
do
say,
that.
yeah. And she'll some sort of Snoopy like mumbling.
Right.
And then I just reply, Can't hear you. I'm in another room.
Womp, 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 womp.
What? What? Can't hear you. I'm in another room.
Mm.
Very frustrating level of communication.
Yeah.
Braxtine
My
talks
kids
to her phone
do that.
now, and I
What?
don't know if she's talking to me or not.
Oh.
So I'll answer, and she goes, "I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the phone."
What is she? Is she
Like
is there a
she's
human
watching
on-
a video, like
What?
on TikTok, and then she starts to say, "Oh my God, that's so funny! Yeah, I know what you're talking about," or "Yeah,
She talks back to the TikTok
dude,
videos?
it's insane."
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
like last night she was talking. I'm like, "Are you talking to me or the phone?" She's like, "I'm talking to you." And I see the phone on the desk. Like, I never know if I'm supposed to be listening or not.
No, when you first started the conversation, I thought you meant like she was using text to
Yeah,
voice.
that's voice.
Colleen
She does
will do
that.
that a lot too.
She
She'll
does
be like,
that
"Oh, I'm
too.
texting somebody."
She does that too, but
But you're saying she's interacting with a one-way video.
yes,
It's weird. It's also
It's
very
so-
disrespectful to you.
it's so weird. But I mean, I love her. It's
I
hysterical.
would expect that behavior from the stroller lady with the dog.
If she wasn't
Give it a-
such an exercise fiend, maybe she would be a walk the dog
Bo-
kind of person. She would do anything for Bo. If he
I was
wanted to
gonna
be
say, what
walked,
do you mean?
she would
That
walk
woman's
him.
getting exercise. Bo will be in a stroller in a few years.
Yeah, I don't think you're far off with that.
Yeah. Big ass stroller. You better get a red wagon, perhaps. Just pull the red wagon.
It's going to be like one of those leaf truck carts with the sides.
Oh, I like those.
Well, I got another question. I'm curious if this happens in your
Please.
house.
All the answers are going to be no, but keep them coming.
No,
I
it
love the
might.
questions.
It might. All right. So, Mike, I know you have a small driveway like me.
What do you mean? I
Too
fit
many-
2 cars in it, Gary. You insulting my freaking driveway?
You can't get 2 cars out at the same time.
We do.
They stack behind each other. So if the top
No,
car
no,
wants to,
I'm a side-by-sider.
and you don't have anybody behind you,
No, we only have
So-
2 cars right
so
now.
we have
You have like an apron.
our driveway situation is not great where we have 4 cars and multiple people driving different cars,
pain in
right?
the
So,
balls. Do you think about it? Is it last in, or is it at night? Do you
Great
reset?
question.
Well,
Do you
so-
reset?
if it's me, when I come home and I see
Right.
other cars, I will purposely park in a spot so that I know in the morning I'm set up. But nobody
You
else,
think of that?
nobody
Yeah.
else in my house does that. So
That's not
Christine might get home before everybody. She'll pull all the way up to the top of the driveway. But in the morning, she's the last one.
Right,
Or if she
dumb.
was the first one out,
Right.
it would be a problem, right?
Rather her leave it on the street and
Right.
you'll pull it in later.
Right. But the morning she'll come out, she'll be like, oh, she'll come back in the house and tell me there's other cars in the
Right.
way and she wants me. I'm always the one moving all the cars around. I'm the only
Yeah.
one.
This is a problem.
If
This
you
is
want
funny.
to get out, wouldn't you move
Yeah.
the other car yourself?
Yeah, this is a stress, and it actually happened this morning. So you could fit 4 cars on my driveway, but it'd be 2 in the front and then 2 behind,
Right.
right? And they kind of hang over the sidewalk, but you could do that. So we only have 2 cars. So minivan comes in on the right,
Yep.
okay, and then the Hyundai on the left. But you got to make sure you've got the Hyundai back far enough that the driver's side door of the minivan can open
Mm.
if you want to take it out.
Right.
So last night I came home from swim. The minivan was in position. I pulled the Hyundai in, lined it up using the rear camera where I always put it. Boom. Nancy goes out this morning. She goes, I can't get in the minivan. What? Like upsets me because I'm like, what did I do? I failed. Nope. She didn't pull far enough up. It happens. We're usually very good about it. Very good about it. So I feel your pain. I would lose my mind with that setup. Bosco,
Every
what's
day.
your
So
situation?
we have everybody in my family is good at this except my wife. Matthew will typically call out on the group text 4-car formation. Andrew's coming home for the weekend.
Love it.
Wow.
And then we know.
Love it.
Then we know the pickup truck has its assigned location all the way in deep on the
Right.
left.
What works best?
The smallest, everybody knows. And now when it's the 4-car formation, and we also have to communicate toward the end of the day, who's leaving first in the morning. And that person might have to go in the
Yeah.
street. And so it's a, you need to have an administrator
So
of the driveway.
I like that.
in the case where there was poor communication or just things happened and the person needs to move other cars to get their car out,
Mhm.
Yeah.
are they calling other individuals to go move the car so they can get out? Or are they just going to go be the good person and move the other cars so that they
you
can
can ask for help. I mean, it's 3 cars to move, but it's not everybody else's problem.
It's expected that I do it every time.
Mm-hmm.
No,
no
so
good.
when I have to move a car and somebody violated the formation or didn't communicate properly, I will take that vehicle and I will park it far away.
It's good.
And then when they have to go find it, they know.
I like it. Gary,
That's my
you should
story within a story.
That's a good way to punish. Also, since you know this is going to happen in the morning, before you go to bed at night, fix the cars.
We always do that. Clearly, we'll do that.
I still hold out hope that someone's going to do the right thing.
Give up.
I don't know why.
It's better to go out there at night. The one well, go ahead.
We got some news. We were not going to be in 4-car formation for some time.
Oh boy!
I heard about this.
Matthew got the call. He is moving to Virginia on March 1st.
And so it begins.
So it was interesting, the reaction. It was dinner time last night, and he made the announcement. And so Colleen's reaction was a clearly muted, celebratory, half smile. She was clearly upset about it. It was just a polite smile.
Yeah, of course.
Me, on the other hand, I put my feelings aside, and I was so excited for him. He's going to have this great, the position that he's going to be in is awesome. He's 15 minutes away from work. They're paying for his apartment.
Yeah.
I mean, he just took he took life and he squeezed the balls.
Yeah, you know, that's like the best thing in the world. Go out there, man. Get out of the house.
It's the same company, right? He's just getting a transfer.
As soon as he walked out of the room, believe me, I hunched over and I mean, I'm really upset. But I was really dissatisfied with Colleen's inability to set her feelings aside and not be in a celebratory thing with the kid. I mean, I get it. We did too good of a job. You do a good job, your kid leaves. We should have done a bad job. We should have done a bad job raising the kids, and then they would have needed us and never moved out. And we'd have kids smoking pot in the basement when they're 35 years old. That's what we should have done.
See, I think I'd be so pumped.
No, I am. I'm happy for him, but I'll miss him. I really enjoyed having him home.
He's not moving to Hawaii. He'll be out. You'll see him.
You'll see him.
It's like going to college again.
To go visit.
It's like he's going to college.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. You know, it's that casual interaction that happens when somebody's living in the home.
I hear you.
The communications, the shared experiences. For me, I don't know. I'm not really a phone guy. We were talking about, it was your day, his dad. What's up?
FaceTime's a wonderful thing.
I think Matt is such an organizer, and he sets everything up that losing him is.
Maybe the house is going to
fall
apart.
Yeah, that's the problem.
No, yeah, you're 100%. I mean, I really want to talk about that, of course.
The driveway.
Listen to this. Nicholas Thursday night goes out, comes home like 9:30. We're like, "What are you doing? Where were you?" He goes, "I went to the mall. I bought goggles." We're like, "Goggles?" He's like, "Yeah, ski goggles." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Oh, I'm going skiing tomorrow." I'm like, "You are?" He goes, "Yeah." We're like, "Who are you going with?" He's like, "Matt and Luke." And I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Do you know where you're going?" He's like, "Somewhere in Pennsylvania." I don't know. Matt took care of everything. Matt took care of everything. You're going to lose. Matt took care of everything.
Everybody's screwed. I think I think the GarCast is over. That's it.
That's it. Episode 294. We ended here.
Wait, what number is it?
294.
294. We almost made it to 300, but Matt had to freaking move.
Well, we got to March 1st, I guess, right? Maybe we can get to 298.
299, 298.
We end right at 300.
Boy.
Do we have emails, Mike? I didn't see anything this morning. We get any last minutes?
Our listeners, they're all devastated by the news of Matt, and nobody can put into words of how they feel. So there's no email.
For fuck's sake. By the way, speaking of, I don't know why emails remind me of this. Oh, because of the SEAL podcast, and they don't do emails, but they do like their Discord, and people just post notes in there, and they read that back. Forrest,
yes,
the SEAL team last Friday's podcast were ripping Forrest apart for losing 5-0.
Well, rightfully
ripping them apart. But guess what Forrest did after that?
They beat, Brighton 7-0.
7-0? I'm sorry. What'd you say?
As they say, 7-0.
7-0?
Yeah. 3 goals in the first half, 4 in the second.
That is a response.
Trick.
That is a response.
Hell of a response. I was going bananas, and I saw Sumo on TV the entire time. Now that I know exactly where the seats are, and he was wearing the green shirt and the green Trinity hat I gave him. Like every time somebody scored and then they panned over in the second half, he's standing there with his scarf in the air. I saw him during the song at halftime. Like he's right there, man.
That's awesome.
Prime seating.
Yeah, Forrest is rocking it, dog. They're really having quite the season.
They are training in Dubai this week for some warm weather training.
Ooh,
Sumo and I were talking about it, that we're afraid it's going to make them soft. I would have taken them to the Arctic Circle or something and had them train up there. You know,
They're tough.
No Premier League this week. I know Bosco's devastated.
Yeah.
One more game to go in this week, which is next Wednesday. Liverpool Everton makeup match. Gary, great job on your triple captain of Salah. I was going to do that, but I opted to do the assistant manager chip. You can't use 2 chips at once.
Yeah, I heard that on the Seal podcast. You can't do 2 at once. I didn't know that.
Yeah. But yeah, all good. That 7-0 was wild. I'll be watching today. There are some League Cup games. I'll be watching today. Arsenal play Newcastle, I believe, at 3:00 on Paramount Plus.
Nice.
Anyway,
did you notice that when MSG went off Cablevision and DenBob couldn't watch anymore, the Islanders went on a 7-game win streak, and now they lost one and came back and beat Vegas. So
I didn't want to bring it up because I was afraid
to be aware. They won 8 of their last 9 games.
I've been monitoring the situation. They're hot as hell.
It's all because he can't watch.
This is unbelievable. Because I can't watch.
This was the greatest thing ever, was the fight between Dolan and Cablevision.
Yep.
At least for Islander
fans.
It was
a franchise turnaround. It was a linchpin in the franchise history.
Did you know they were winning, DenBob?
Stopped watching. Sorry?
Did you know they were winning?
No, I stopped. I stopped watching.
It's perfect.
No.
I might have just jinxed it because now you're probably going to try to watch them, but
I was thinking of switching to FiOS, but then I got to change all the passwords and names of the Wi-Fi in my house.
It'll get worked out, or they're going to do. By the way, so MSG, their contract with FiOS runs out within the next year, I think it is. So you're going to be dealing with the same shit with FiOS.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Mike to post this yesterday because he texted it to me and Rob, and I didn't want to steal his information, but then he didn't post it to Discord. I'm on the article now. MSG is in discussions to avoid bankruptcy with Amazon.
Yeah, I think I did post that, Mike.
Did you? Oh, I missed it.
I think in TV I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Which would be interesting.
Maybe I don't know if that would mean if Amazon took them onto Prime, that'd be amazing. Everybody's got Prime.
I have Prime. I mean, I hate all these options, but I have Prime already.
That's the easiest one to have because it comes with the shipping stuff. I mean, come on.
So, yeah, right. That's exactly why I have Prime.
Sorry, I didn't see you post that. I missed it.
No,
there
fine.
it is. Yeah, you did. Yeah. Back on Saturday. Saturday was a very busy day.
That's fine. It's fine. I'm not.
I even commented at 11:05 at night.
I thought you did.
Yeah, I was drinking. That's fine.
That would be really interesting. I'm kind of rooting for that.
So that'd be great. I was texting with a buddy of my 2 friends yesterday, and the one guy made a comment on the Knicks. My buddy Nahal, and then Mark and I were both like, "Yeah, we haven't watched any Knicks games." I'm like, yeah, I have Optimum. And Nahal was like, oh, I have the Gotham app. I was like, what? I found somebody who has it.
He's paying all that money for it. Huh?
Yeah. I was like, oh my God. Yikes.
I think we mentioned this last week. Like the Knicks are on ESPN often, and TNT enough. It's nice you do get some games. They've been playing very well as well.
Yeah. But speaking of the FiOS versus Optimum, Bosco, I went to the Optimum store. There's one locally, and I have my cell phones do them. You know, I got the internet and the TV, the triplet. And every time I go there, there's this younger guy who's pretty cool. So I've been meaning to go. I don't even use my TV in my bedroom anymore, and I put a Fire Stick on it, and I watch GarTV on it. So I have a little box up there. It's like $9.99 a month. I got to return.
Yeah, no, you got to get rid of that.
So I finally hoofed it over there. It opened at 10. I was the second guy in line. Glad I was second because the first guy went to this dumb lady, and then I went to my guy. And I'm just returning this, piece of cake. He's like, all right. He's like, he's pretty laid back, not salesy, but he's like, they're doing a promotion on cell phones. If you could, bring them over to Optimum from another provider, it's $0 a month for 12 months. I'm like, I already got mine on there. I was like, but do me a favor, like, is there any way I can benefit from that? Do I have all the discounts I need? I don't. He's like, hold on. He's looking, and he's like, oh, no. And he ended up, I was there 15 minutes. He lowered my bill $30 a month. And I have, and the reason why I was able to do that is I guess my neighborhood finally became ready, Gary, for the optimum fiber.
Ah.
Which is like FiOS.
Yep.
So they're coming here on Tuesday to do it. The guy showed up yesterday and did the outside wiring, ran into my house. Supposedly the Wi-Fi is much better. That's the one thing. When I went to those Altice boxes where there's no wireless router anymore, the Wi-Fi is not that good. So this apparently
Altice
goes back
One.
to a little bit. Well, so we'll see. I'll report back, but he lowered it $30 a month.
Hey, that's huge.
Yeah.
No, I'll take it. I got to start lowering.
Sometimes you just got to ask,
Yeah.
If you don't ask, they ain't going to lower your shit.
No.
So we shall see. A big install on Tuesday.
Okay.
Very exciting.
Hopefully there's no snow because right now
That is exciting.
Oh yeah,
I'm seeing.
What's the weather report? You stopped sending these wonderful weather reports that you were sharing.
The little weather systems that we're getting this week, like 1 inch, 2 inch tomorrow, a couple inches on Saturday, like they haven't got on Travis's radar. So I'm guessing they are going to be small storms, but I'm
Travis is your weatherman.
He's my weatherman on Facebook. He lives around the block from me.
Can you go knock on his door?
I might. I see him walking his dog sometimes, so maybe I'll see him today.
Roller?
But they're calling. No, definitely not. He's got a beautiful husky. Tuesday on my weather app is showing 10 inches of snow.
What?
Yes, sir.
Stand by.
I don't
Check
know
my
if the
weather.
Apple. I have the one that curses at you, Carrot.
Can you get Travis on the phone right now? 10 inches of snow. On
so
Tuesday?
I'm expecting a post from him soon about this. If there's that risk.
Why is he not a listener, by the way?
I don't know if he knows I do this.
So we have a winter weather advisory for tomorrow.
Yeah. Couple inches
Mixed
tomorrow.
For 1 to 2 inches. Do we even shovel for that? Are you going to shovel?
I think it's supposed to change to rain, so you probably won't have to.
I mean, maybe just steps and walkway.
Yeah, because it's supposed to stay cold. Yeah.
Just steps and walkway so your shoes don't get dirty.
Let's see. Tuesday, you say. Says snow.
Yeah.
Cloudy with snow. Temps near steady in the low. Winds. Chance 80%. 3 to 5 inches. But I mean, you're Smithtown. You're a little different up there.
Could be.
I got 3 to 5.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be
10
a
inches
significant
is
amount.
snow. That's a big snow.
Let's go.
That's
Bring
a
it.
big deal.
And get the snowblower has been sitting at the bottom of the garage for weeks since we had that last.
Oh, you didn't
storm
use it?
No, it was too late. It was light and
Yeah,
3 inches. It was easy to shovel.
Matt said to
we
use it,
used it.
so they used it. But then
Matt,
Matt's still going to be home for this storm, right? We'll be okay?
Thank God, yeah.
He's like, all right, here's the plan. We're going to blow that out first. We'll
So
pull
we
that
get snow
car out.
formation too. We get snow formation as well.
We
We put the cars in line
Yeah.
when there's going to be snow.
I do
so
a
that
snow
the snow
formation,
blower
too.
can come out. Yeah.
Do you do wipers up?
At the train station. Yep.
Not home.
Doesn't matter so much at home because you're just going to run the car while you're snow blowing.
I agree.
That's going to loosen.
And the wipers up can be annoying too. You can't get it down. It freezes in place. I don't think wipers up is the way to go. It was always a train.
Wipers up. You see it all. You see all the seasoned commuters go wipers
See
up.
the beauty
at
of
train
Floor
station.
Park. When I used to drive to the train, the train's on a trestle. You park under it.
Oh, nice.
Car's clean when you get off the train.
That's beautiful.
So I had a funny interaction with this kid at the train parking lot last week. It was
a kid
with the snow.
It wasn't a dwarf.
Yeah, no, he's 23 years old, maybe. I know him from the fire department, and he's a nice kid, And he was one of the guys who was spreading the salt and shoveling. So I on my way to the train, I said, I'm like, Kenny, how you doing? Thanks for being out here. It's cold. I hope you can stay warm today. And I was being nice, right? Yeah. He comes back and he's like, well, we're doing it for you guys. Anything that you guys can do and have a comfortable commute. That's snotty. I hate that. I hate when people say that. Like, you're not earning money. You're doing it for me. They ain't. So when he gave me that, I went back at him and I'm like, well, you missed a spot. You got to get here a little better.
Nice.
But you see, the thing was, there was another couple of people walking to the parking lot that didn't realize that I knew him. And they thought I was just giving some fucking worker a hard time.
Oh, boy.
So they looked at me like I was such a douchebag. And I was like, no, I know him. It's okay. It's okay.
And then you walked and you turned around and you went, we are. And nobody said anything. That's funny. Yeah, F that guy.
No, I know him. So I had another awkward. So I got recommended.
Are you spinning in a chair?
Yeah, I'm spinning.
Throw up. Jesus.
Come on,
A
Dylan.
designer. A
Dylan.
designer calls me and said I was recommended to you by mutual reference, and I need a new flooring guy. I'm like, great. We started talking. She sounded like a solid possible client,
All right.
And she needs this kind of thing. Can you do this? Yeah. Oh yeah, we specialize that. These are a couple of jobs we did already. Who do you know? Yeah. Okay. Validation. And I'm like, all right. So Lori, how did you come about me? What's wrong with your old vendor? You've been around doing this a long time. I want to make sure I don't make the same mistake. I'm given this opportunity.
Uh-oh.
And she's like, oh, you won't make that same mistake. And I'm like, really? What did he do? Or she? I'm like, what did he or she do? And she's like, well, we were engaged and now it's awkward.
Oh.
No.
And I looked at her and I was like,
Could have been a lot worse.
I can do that. I got to get engaged? I'm like, I'm married already, but let's do it. I'm in. We can.
Did she find it funny?
She did.
Oh,
She
all
thought
right.
it was very funny. But she also didn't come to the meeting that we were supposed to have. So maybe it was a fake laugh. Maybe it was like when Colleen was happy for Matthew for going to Virginia. She didn't really think I was funny. So,
Or you're being hard on yourself. They got back together.
yeah,
The engagement is back on. Good for them.
maybe it's back. So do you think I should follow up and be like, did you get engaged again or are we going to meet?
What do you got to lose?
Yeah, right. She's not my client now. I'm going to do that email.
The
That's
show.
going to
Do
be
it
my
for the show.
follow-up.
Yeah, do it for the show. Please.
Did you guys get back together or do you want to meet?
So she had to be like, congratulations in order? You guys back together? I figured since I haven't heard from you. That's perfect. Do it.
I'm doing it for the show.
Love it.
You're the best.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
All right.
All right. Good stuff.
That was a fabulous show.
Happy birthday to Andy again.
Andy,
Word on the
enjoy
street
it.
was for his birthday, he was getting a massage.
Oh.
I don't know what kind
Hopefully
of
it's
massage.
not a Justin Tucker massage.
Good for him. And then he's going to a nice dinner.
All right.
So.
Enjoy, Andy.
I hope both of those events have happy endings.
Whoa.
Oh, speaking of endings, at the end of the newspaper, they put all their corrections.
Who
and
the hell reads a
clarifications.
newspaper?
I don't know.
I
who
have
does.
a correction. I lied when we talked about my bed makeup composition.
Shocking.
I left out two critical pieces.
Nobody
We have
believes
the
you wear one
mattress.
sock, by the way. Go ahead.
We have the mattress. I was going to post a picture of myself with the one sock on the other morning. We have a zippered plastic allergy.
No.
Yeah.
That can't
Yep.
be comfortable at
A
all.
zipper
It's
plastic
crinkly.
allergy what?
That your mattress is in?
It is well, so it surrounds the mattress so that if by chance, it doesn't allow the bed bugs to get into the mattress.
That's what bedwetters wear. Like have on their bed.
And then on top of that, we have we talked about the fitted sheet.
Yeah.
I have this fitted quilty thing
Because you don't want to feel the plastic.
because you don't want the crinkly plastic.
I
I've
had
never
I have those
Ugh.
two layers that I excluded from my description.
I
That's
had
who
that,
I am.
that extra layer, but that was before they made these mattresses now that have everything
The pillow
just on
top.
top of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
amazing. There's absolutely no reason for it anymore.
I think Colleen told you that's for bed bugs, but you pissed the bed one night, and that's what that is. Bed bugs.
bed pisser. know why
You're a
nobody wants to
bedwetter.
talk to you.
Bosco's a bedwetter.
We are bed
That was
wetters.
before you learned how to wake up in the middle of the night and pee. But Jesus.
All right.
I have to say, I find it telling that where we are in this country about something that used to be a big deal. Something we did not mention on this show today. Didn't even mention the Super Bowl. Nobody cares.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm going to watch Landman.
This is not.
I'm going to use the Super Bowl to catch up on Landman.
Landman was
Really,
very
nobody
good.
cares.
I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Pretty funny, huh? Oh, I started watching a Smile Line's recommendation. She gave me her Hulu login. I'm not gonna. I'm enjoying it. It's only 4 episodes in. I thought it was I binged all 4, and then I was like, oh shit, there's no more. Paradise.
I don't think I've heard of it yet. Okay.
It's like Hulu's #1 new show.
Okay.
Alright.
Keep an eye out for it.
It's about a Secret Service agent. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
So far, enjoyable. I'm liking it. So we'll see.
You know who was in Landman? One of the episodes, Jerry Jones, from the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones.
Yes, he was.
Is that on
funny.
Gar TV?
Yes, it is.
Yes, that's where I'm watching it.
And Paramount.
When can we? I have Paramount, so I can
Yeah.
just jump on that.
Yep.
Nice. And when can I expect the next Severance episode to be on Gar TV, please?
Probably Saturday morning.
I did appreciate your live download for me last week. That
Friday
was very
night. It was so. I was like, oh, I love that episode this week. I'm like,
I was so mad. You're all commenting.
great.
I'm like, oh, I'll go watch it now. I'm like, son of a bitch.
I got to go see if
it's
I
a
can
great
get it.
show.
It's hard to get sometimes, but
Thank you.
I'm not sure. Apple might be releasing them in the
Please.
morning on Friday, which might be giving me. That might be why I was able to find it in the app.
So Friday night,
Yeah.
I'm planning on just going to bed early. I got to drive to
Friday night or
Connecticut for a swim
Saturday will
meet.
be there.
I would like it Friday night, please.
But I will have to say, how nice is it that they do once a week and we could share in the viewing experience each week?
For this
This
show,
is really fun.
This
This
is
is
hard-
really fun.
It's a
I'd like
hard
it every 2 days, every 3 days would be better.
It would be a hard show. Well, it's not hard to binge, but the
I've
nice
been
thing about
season
not
one.
but the nice thing about this and not binging it is so many different theories. Like when you have a
Yes.
box, like a
it's
mystery
a
box
Bosco's
show like
point.
this,
Yeah,
it's perfect.
yeah.
Like we get a whole week of
I guess.
theories.
Oh, Mike
and
likes it. Yes.
I'm
Mike
glad
likes
Mike
it.
got in. Yeah.
Yes,
He's
thank
convert.
goodness. He'll
This
have
is-
great insights. He's going to have really good insights.
We need him to binge right through season 1 so he can catch up.
It's starting to feel like almost
can-
leftovers type of quality.
Oh, quality. Yes. I think you're saying similar story.
No. The similar part is there is always mysteries going on, and they do
but
answer
Leftovers
them.
was
But
just so much more deep.
it's
so much
different.
deeper-
It's different,
deeper.
but
No comedy.
yeah.
This has comedy within.
Leftovers had, I thought, some pretty funny moments.
It did, but not like this kind of.
Remember when he had to open the door with his thing?
That's fine. I haven't seen that in so long. Yeah, you're right.
Or that weird time when they were on the boat? Oh my God.
Oh, you have good memory. Oh, in Australia?
Yeah, it was in Australia.
Remember they went to Australia?
Yeah. It was a really good. I love that. I might have to watch that again soon. That was
All right, you
so
should watch
good.
that again.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed this show. And until next time, be Garific.
Gar out.
Have a great day.
All right, boys.
Out.
Peace.
I pledge allegiance to the family of the United GarCast of the Discord, and to the Montana commune that we will all meet up at when humanity finally craps the bed. One Gar Nation, under God, or thoughts, with a vow to be excellent to one another, and to always follow that one simple rule: don't be a dick. Gar pluribus unum.